Hi, I'm Cynthia from All About ELD, and in this video, I'll share 5 progress monitoring tips for English language development teachers. My first tip is to progress monitor your students at the beginning, middle, and end of the year. If you can progress monitor them in the middle of the year because things get busy with WIDA or testing, just try to progress monitor them at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. Doing this will give you more data on how they're doing and progressing during the year. Although progress monitoring my students takes a long time because I have a lot of students in my school, it is very insightful. Of the year, this data lets me know how my students use social vocabulary, sentence structure, and discourse. And I use this data to create my initial ELD groups. I would say that the beginning of the year data gives you a starting point on where to start with your students. For example, what language skills to work on and how to support them in your ELD groups. Tip number 2. Use an interview-style speaking assessment, especially at the beginning of the year. Why? Because it is less overwhelming for you as a teacher and for your students. Interviews are like a conversation, so it is a more relaxed environment. With an interview-style questions, you can get to know your students and set goals with them or for them depending on their age. In addition, you will get to know about their likes, the things they do after school, about their family. It all depends on what questions you want to ask. And with this interview style assessment, you are also building trust with your students and they are getting to know you as well. The third tip is to use content related prompts to measure academic language, especially at the middle and end of the year. Choose a language function depending on what you want your students to show you, or depending on their grade level or the language skills that you have been working on. For example, you could pick sequencing or comparing and contrasting at the beginning of the year because they're usually easier skills to work on, and then you can pick other higher level ones like summarizing or cause and effect for middle and the end of the year. To see the types of prompts I use, click on the links in the description of this video. The next tip is to use questions that are similar to the WIDA Access assessment questions or to the English proficiency test that your state uses. This will let you measure their progress more closely aligned to the WIDA standards or to the standards that you follow, and it will give your students extra practice with a test like questions. Use programs that allow your students to practice recording their voices for speaking practice. Some of the programs I've used before are Sound Recorder, Wixie, Schoology, and Canva. These are great for them to use. They have different features and it is great for them to play around, practice listening to themselves, and you can also use it to give feedback later on. And for writing, do the same thing and make prompts that are similar to the English proficiency assessment that your state uses. If you do not want to create your own questions or prompts, you can also look online. There's a lot of prompts or practice to use in Teachers Pay Teachers or other websites. Our last tip is to give feedback to your students. Give them short and constructive feedback. And depending on their age or grade level, you choose to do peer feedback or give them self-reflection opportunities. Like I said before, if you use Canva or use other programs that students can share and look at their responses or listen to their responses, it is easier to do peer feedback. And remember to provide them a rubric and sentence stems if depending on their English language proficiency level. And it's very important to keep track of how they are doing so they can get motivated and keep trying to learn more English and develop their English language skills. So this is all for now. Don't forget to check out the links in the description so you can see the resources that go with this topic. If you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel.